could go on until WrestleMania, but I don't think it's going to. I feel it might end tonight. Then who is to go after Daniel Bryan as the WWE champion? Because I think Daniel Bryan's going to retain. He's been that good. Plus, also, you don't know what the contract situation is going to be with AJ Styles going forward. No news on if he's actually re-signed or not, so this will be interesting to see. I mean, obviously, I feel that Styles is going to lose, but now we'll see what the future holds for AJ after this event and what they do with him leading into WrestleMania. So it'll be interesting. And then who faces Daniel Bryan afterward? That'll be interesting. Brock Lesnar, Finn Balor, Universal Championship. At one point, I thought Balor had a chance because that's the perfect chance to showcase the Demon character. And for as far as we know, and as per what Finn has said himself, there will not be an appearance by the Demon. Why? Because why do you want to bury the Demon when putting Brock over for eventually facing whoever the Royal Rumble winner is? Probably at WrestleMania. While I think it would be better if Finn won. I mean, this could very well be like, and this is where I give Brock credit. Brock, when he wants to turn it up, he'll turn it up. And he did for Eddie Guerrero. He put Eddie Guerrero over, many moons ago. And I feel like this could be that same situation where Brock likes working the smaller guy. Eddie was much smaller compared to Brock, as is Finn to Brock. Brock lost the championship to Eddie Guerrero at lost the WWE championship at No Way Out, the pay-per-view before WrestleMania, to Eddie Guerrero. Oh, no way, Brock will lose the title before WrestleMania. He's done it. He's done it in probably one of the bigger upsets in pro wrestling history. So, I want Finn to win. I really want Finn to win. But if the Demon character isn't coming out, Brock wins. If somehow that he and the WWE surprise us by having the Demon character in this match, then there might be a different case. There might be a different case. I still feel like he could win. But for the sake of being a betting man, I mean, I'm not, but for the sake of this conversation, Brock wins and retains. Then goes on to wrestle who I think will win the Royal Rumble, and that's Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, which would be a great match because, again, he likes working smaller guys. Brock and Seth have been in the ring before, especially the Royal Rumble where Cena and Rollins wrestled in a great WWE World title match. So it's not completely out of the ordinary for Brock to want to be doing something like this. So, who knows? But what I will say is, I'll give you who I think will win the Royal Rumble matches, and I'll give you who I hope. Like, basically my sleeper picks. So I think that for the 30-man Royal Rumble for the men's, Seth Rollins. Who do I think 30-man Royal Rumble for the women's? I think Becky. If she loses, pull an old school move of entering themselves in the Rumble, win the Rumble that way. I also feel Charlotte could win because it's Charlotte. Give her another accolade. Who I hope will win, and both of them one doesn't make sense, but the other one kind of does. I hope Drew McIntyre wins because he's just been so good all year, and he's been so good since his return. Yeah, he was an NXT champion, brief run, got injured, but since his debut on the main roster, he's been nothing but a monster, and it's been great. And on the women's side, I feel that Ruby Riott could win. That's who I hope wins. I know it's more than likely not going to happen, but that's the one where I'm like, okay, this actually works out. I can see it happening. So, We shall see tonight at the Royal Rumble. If you're a subscriber to the WWE Network, you get that pay-per-view and everything else like that. So that's my Royal Rumble preview. We've got a few minutes, so about 2 hours left. So let's just throw this out there really quick. And again, if you want to hit up the socials and talk about this a little bit further, at Open Mic Wrestling on Twitter, at open mic wrestling night on Instagram if you're not watching in the live window. WWE is saying they want to put a little bit more emphasis on the tag team division. Hence the Revival's tag title match. Hence, just having the debut of Heavy Machinery in a more serious matter versus the joke that they had Dozovich going in with the Moment of Bliss show. So they're promising them making further steps in the tag division. Along those lines, they don't want to lose guys like the Revival, and a name that's being thrown out there is guys that they feel could leave are the New Day. That would be a huge hit for the WWE. Not only, you have 3 consistent workers, but you have top merchandise pushers in the company. And it's feared that they're going to go to AEW because of their pre-existing relationship with the Young Bucks. Depending on what Kenny Omega does, because nothing's been reported of that he turned down a WWE offer. Triple H reached out one more time in a last-ditch effort to have Omega sign a deal. I would like to see Omega versus Ciampa in NXT, but let's be realistic. They ain't going to pay him the money that he's probably going to be commanding, especially with probably a very solid offer by AEW just to wrestle in NXT. Now, could it be possible that they would do that just for Kenny? You bet. Do I think it's likely? No. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kenny was a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble tonight. I hope not, because, again, look at AJ Styles, though. AJ Styles went in, everyone's like, oh, he's going to be ruined, he's going to be that. No, now he's been the face of the company. Now Kenny Omega, if he comes in, has that chance to be that face of the company. And they'll bend over backwards for him. So, we'll see about that. We'll see how it goes. And we'll see exactly what they do with the tag team division, because I believe that it's a shame that they're not doing more with them. But we'll wind up seeing what happens. Alright, folks, I'm going to wind up taking off for right now. Thank you all for tuning in. If you have, thank you for the follows. Everything else of that sort, thank you. I will see you again live on Thursday with Open Mic Wrestling Night as we go live. Of course, as we always do every Thursday on twitch.tv/Corpse426. You can always find the shows on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Fill in the Void Podcast Network. This week, there's a couple guests that I'm working on that I have to wait until tomorrow to confirm because of their very busy wrestling schedules. And if I am to announce it, they'll be right on my socials. You'll be able to see it. And once you see them, you'll understand why it's like, okay, now this makes sense why he couldn't announce anything yet. So hopefully we'll have guests this week, which would be nice. And if not, we'll still work with it and talk about anything in the world of pro wrestling. We'll have the Royal Rumble to talk about. We can talk about TakeOver again. God knows we're probably going to wind up talking about Raw for good, bad, or indifferent, which is completely fine too. And I hope you all had a great weekend. I hope you all went out and supported your local independent wrestling. As I always say on a Thursday, it's very important to do. And well, enjoy the Royal Rumble, enjoy the pre-show, enjoy everything else in between with this Royal Rumble weekend, which will also include the SmackDown and Raw after Royal Rumble. Thank you all for tuning in. Enjoy the Rumble tonight. I hope you enjoyed NXT this past weekend, and have a great rest of your night. Talk to you all again on Thursday.